they're like, thank you so much. You're so, and I'm like, I appreciate it, but I'm doing my job. What they told me is that guy had walked on 4 molestation cases before. And he also walked on some possession of, somehow he got out of possession of child pornography stuff. And but when he found out, when they approached him and said I was an undercover and that they got him, he pled guilty to hiring me to kill the kid and pled guilty to the molestation of the kid. Matter of fact, when I was talking to him the first time, he threw me off guard. Because he was like, yeah. And I go, all right, well, what do you got? This, that, and the other. We're talking, and he goes, hey, I'd like you to kill the rest of his family too. They're in Wisconsin. And I actually giggled a little bit because it threw me off. I went, well, I'm not above traveling, but let's deal with one pest at a time. I'm like, you agree? I'm thinking in my head, well, dadgum, man. You know, but he knew, as most pedophiles do, you're not going to do well in prison.
So his idea was kill the kid, kill the family, and then there's no evidence? Like he didn't?
Yeah, he just gets to walk because there's no witness to show up to trial.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Yeah. And then being around that stuff, like I've had trainees that, you know, you get a new agent, they come in, they assign you as the training agent, and they might be working that stuff. And I will tell you, for me personally, that's tough to work for me. This is before I even had before I even had kids. I remember seeing like 5 images. We hit a guy, he was actually a professor at University of Texas, Pan Am, and he was so vigilant. I mean, he had all the child porn videos broken down by ethnicity, age, sex.
Oh, Jesus.
So I mean, you could say I want Asian male 11, and he would have. I mean,
oh my God.
And it was just sick. Now, did he come from a messed up thing? Yeah. Turns out his mother had molested him and his brother. Would tie them in the basement, tie them to each other, and make them have sex with each other.
Oh my God.
But it's horrific. But break the chain, man. Break the chain. So yeah, I saw like 5 photos, and I was messed up for probably a week or 2.
A professor.
Yeah, my wife would she'd try to touch me, not even just to be in it. I mean, you know, just to touch, and I'd be like, no. I'm like, I can't, man. I got to get this shit out of my head.
Wow.
Now later on in Undercovers, I could be the guy to drive and pick you up. I could show you pictures. Is this what you want, kind of thing? But to like sit there and look through that stuff, my brain's not cut out for that. But there are those who are, and in the FBI, if you're looking at that, you have to be psychologically assessed as well, as you should.
I could only imagine.
Yeah.
How are these guys getting these videos?
Oh,
are they
man.
making them?
Joe, it is.
There's like, see, that's the thing, right?
This
is one of the
so huge.
It's one of the
so freaking huge.
That's the scary thing, because most people aren't aware of it, and this is one of the big conspiracy theories, that there's these pedophile rings out there, but they're real.
Yeah. Yeah, human trafficking. Now, I can sway on some of the human trafficking stuff because I've seen human trafficking from the border all the way to the hotel room. If it's rarely a hooker of her own free will or an escort of own free will. But if they're out there doing, I don't know, it gets a little muddy on some of the trafficking stuff for me personally, but it's still trafficking. They got brought in when they were underage. Now they're a product of what they've been forced to do, you know?
Right.
It's very sad, but as far as the child porn stuff goes, it's insane. I've worked with some, they call them ICACs, crimes against children, and there's so much out there, but there was so much at one. This is just me in Tennessee. I'm with them. They have so many hits on whatever dark web thing it is. It might be Discord. I'm trying to think of what it used to be, but there's all kinds of stuff like that they'll go to these in what they believe or what are encrypted apps that are based overseas.